Hello, Mrs. Vice President, and thank you for inviting the rest of the management team to our presentation. My name is John Pham, and with me, I have Arnaldo Irizar and Robert Young. And today, we will be talking about the Enron scandal and what had enabled them to defraud billions from their misconduct. Additionally, we will be answering any questions that you may have at the end. Before we dive into the scandal, let us have an idea of who Enron really was. According to the Journal of Accountancy in 2002, in an article of The Rise and Fall of Enron by C. William Thomas, Enron was actually a merger from two other companies, Houston Natural Gas and Internorth, which was a Nebraska pipeline company. Enron was led by Kenneth Lay, but as a response to Enron incurring debt, Jeffrey Skilling was hired, and it was him that was mostly responsible for developing these scandalous plans or business strategy, as they call it. And so Enron was born as an American energy company that was in the market for trading future energies. And with Skilling's mastermind, Enron seems to be so successful that it was featured on Fortune magazine as one of America's most innovative companies and on the list of the 100 best companies to work for in America. But that didn't last for long as the accusation was caught on. Enron was able to defraud a tremendous amount of money from investors by reporting borrow loans as cash flow from operations, implementing that they made profit. Enron was able to borrow these loans through contracts created with the help of two financial institutions, JP Morgan Chase and Citigroup. The money borrowed the borrowed money was then transferred through SPEs to Enron. Now, SPEs are also known as special purpose entities, which are created to serve a specific purpose. And in this case, the purpose was to transfer money to avoid a direct linkage between the banks and Enron. Next up, we have Arnaldo talking about the details of how the fraud was discovered and exploited. Arnaldo, please continue to guide us from here. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you for the information on that, how Enron was built. So, as John was speaking about the SPEs, they were one of the main component that allowed Enron to hide their true profits, and that is due to the inaccurate values that it carried, and it showed inaccurate growth. So, because of the natural gas energy market was unknown at that time, the SPE values were overblown out of proportion. Now, the second undefined term was a mark to market, which was partly allowed by the SEC that gave Enron the permission to move forward in providing values to what their market was. The report by Bethany McLean was one that really led to the exploitation of Enron. Her claim of is Enron overpriced is what raised the question and investigation furthermore as to what Enron was really all about. The stock market share price for Enron was initially at $90.75 at the beginning of this turnaround, and it fell down all the way through to 61 cents when it fully closed. The Securities Exchange Commission, they led an investigation that really dived deep into the books. They took a look at the real book value of what Enron truly held and controlled, their true worth. This revealed the inaccurate growth that was portrayed on their financials. The trust and the disbelief on what everybody believed was once a powerhouse in the industry. Their schemish ways and the circus exchange of money and contract transfers by Enron, their shell company Mahonia, JP Morgan Chase, and Citigroup all led to the conviction of the CEOs Kenneth Lay, Jeffrey Skilling, and CFO Andrew Fastow. Also, as well, Arthur Anderson, their auditing company, was all in it all along. To end this part of the story, I'd like to go moving forward now with Robert Young on what he will speak about in our alternatives and recommendations.
Thank you, Arnoldo, for that detailed investigation. My name is Robert Young, and I'm going to provide recommendations to prevent noncompliance. One is that we partner with Citigroup and JP Morgan. We create an internal auditing team that would use real data and provide accounting standards for other companies that would be able to measure our progress. Secondly, we can partner with Enron, JP Morgan, and Citigroup's lawyers, and we create literature that defines our SPEs and we attach those to real companies. With that, we can send that to the SEC and FASB, and they can use that for future reference. Lastly, we can hire a third-party company for auditing purposes. However, this leaves us vulnerable due to the fact that there currently isn't a market for the clean energy, so we would be at the mercy of the accounting procedures and laws that they create. With the information I've presented, the option that proves to be the most beneficial for our parties would be the one that gives us the most control. By us, I mean Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Enron. We should gather our accounting teams and create an internal auditing team for which they maintain communication with the FASB and SEC, and they also log on how we come to our conclusions with the most transparency. Because we live in a quickly developing world, there are always going to be new inventions, and because of this, accounting procedures are always changing. Since the clean energy market is new, there are not many accounting standards to record improvements in our industry or record our gains and losses. And seeing as how we have already opened the door to the SEC, it would be best for us to maintain that. We at Enron will have to assign a team specifically for research and development to develop our numbers and see our improvements regarding our natural energy and our projections quarterly as well as yearly. JP Morgan and Citigroup will have to reassign and allocate some tax accountants as well as some of their special accounting team to research the oil and electric energy industries on their information and how they and to tailor make our accounting procedures so that we can follow rules and regulations in our new industry. It may seem as if we are losing revenue on research and development, however, or with new hires, but however, because we are simply reallocating departments that we already have, we are not. I want the FASB and the SEC to see that we are taking this seriously. If we get ahead of this now, we could build trust and keep us off of unnecessary radars. We are a new market and currently our only competition. We may be able to make up our own rules within reason. This is a marathon and not a sprint, and we are racing against ourselves. I want to thank you all for your time and patience. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If there are any questions, please feel free to present them now.